Silence!
It was the quietest gulp. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, because there's probably only one or two of you. Welcome to this episode, the 5th episode of the N-Word, where we are celebrating 5 years of the nerd word. Where
one episode
it's
per
not
year.
Nambla, it's nerd.
I really don't approve of that.
None of us do. It's so bad. It's okay. We've
I
been
was
doing
in
this for
NAMBLA
5
as a
years.
child. They told me it was Boy Scouts.
Strangely, both run by Mormons.
Yes.
All right, guys. We've had a very eventful week. All of us.
Putting it lightly.
Let's start. What has happened the past week? Let's update our 2 fans. 3.
3 fans.
Glenn
I
Close. I don't know. the
Snoop
other
Dogg. Snoop Lion.
Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah, Snoop Dogg, Viggo
Right,
Mortensen,
yeah.
and Glenn Close. Those are our 3 fans.
Okay, we have a game night every week on Wednesdays. Every Wednesday. And this time, John, myself, drank a little too fast with not enough food in my stomach.
Oh no.
And when I drink, I insist that we get Del Taco afterwards.
Del Taco.
We're near Del Taco. And we
Wait,
did.
where did you go?
He was not driving.
Because last week you went to. Did you go to Del Taco too? And that's when the guy on the bike was in the drive.
Well, that was McDonald's the week before.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, that was McDonald's.
He still had basic cognitive abilities.
Because I was driving 2 weeks ago. But I'm going to let Tony take it from here and tell the rest of
Okay.
the story.
Okay.
Okay, so
Because he was sober and remembers it.
he kind of did a little silver lining over when he was drinking. He drank way too goddamn much, way too goddamn fast. Aside from not having anything to eat, excuses.
And he enjoys trying to keep up with
stupid
me.
amount.
Yeah.
You drank a lot too. It's just Mr. Your brother's Hydra.
You're not to that part in the story yet.
Yeah,
Okay,
and I did that when I got home and I had 4 more beers.
Okay. So he's, I want to go to Del Taco.
I don't sound anything like that.
You said
Actually, you said a little bit like that. That
Your
was-
brothers,
yeah.
he can do a good enough impersonation.
Let's be honest, you did sound a little bit like that night.
The responsible non-drunk one is I almost said drinking, is driving.
You're driving? Oh god.
No,
Tony was driving.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
no,
driving.
He was driving.
Okay.
I was in shotgun and he was in.
I was in the
he
back
was
seat.
in the back.
So we go to Del Taco. They're the whole ride. They're drunk.
Mhm.
We pull up and
Oh, this is
I'm
all
not-
3 of you?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I'm
I
not
planned
gonna do
ahead.
anything.
I was not going to be driving that
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
I wasn't going to order anything. I didn't know what he was going to order. So I was just like, John, yell over me, and you can order. Roll this out the window, and the nice, poor Del Taco person working at, 12 o'clock at night is,
They're prepared for
he's
this.
like, all right,
They
guys,
should be prepared
Yeah,
for what
what's up?
happened.
Yeah.
what do you want? And just almost yelling, my brother goes, hello, governor!
I do remember that part.
Almost immediately, the person on the other end's going, my coworker's gonna kill you. The whole time he keeps the stupid accent up.
Just the entire time in the
Hello?
drive-thru.
Staying clubbits.
Hello, can I get a burrito and some tacos, please?
It wasn't a good accent.
No, it wasn't.
It was no.
Awful.
Kept it up until, we were getting our food. Embarrassing me. I'm hard to embarrass sometimes. He
Yeah.
embarrassed the shit out of me.
That's rough city.
And the guy in Del Taco said, my coworker's gonna kill you maybe 6 times?
6.
Yeah,
6.
he kept repeating it. It was like, my coworker's gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
So we pull in to the Lowe's parking lot like we always do.
That's where we eat our Del Taco.
Okay. I'm quietly eating my fries. John shoves all of the food like a cartoon character down his gullet.
I had one
Anime-
taco. I had one taco. To be
Anime
fair.
style. Just like...
One taco, which like this.
Which, like the alcohol too fast, was also a bad idea.
So after he Kirby's his food,
I didn't press down to swallow it. That was the problem.
no, you swallowed it. I
It was a few, like 3 Mississippis before it came back and made.
Brennan's in the back
There's
completely
a
fine.
few Mississippis.
Yeah.
I was minding my own
Yeah,
business.
he was
in the
completely
back.
fine. He's just Brennan's just in the back, like I'm minding my own business.
Yeah.
I'm drunk. I'm completely fine. I'm eating.
I
I'm eating
have a
my
burrito.
fries.
Okay,
I'm
what's
in
going
chill.
on now?
And then John's just like, I got this, guys, and he just throws himself out of the car and just throws up for like a constant 10 minutes. Just keeps throwing.
We can
up.
skim over this part.
I got out and had a
Oh.
cigarette in the time he was doing all this.
There's been too much vomit in the last week. It was Halloween weekend.
I finished my whole thing of fries while you were throwing up.
Yeah.
So skip over the throw up and we'll move on, because my favorite part of the story is later.
He gets back in the car. Brennan gets back in the car. I'm like, John, you gonna be okay? And he's just like, he's like curled up on the door. He's like cuddling the door as best as he could. Mm-hmm.
By the way, did I pay for Del Taco again?
Yeah.
Okay, I always do my math with my cash the next day, and I'm like, I'm missing like $12. What the hell?
Drunk,
and then I
Brennan,
remember.
what did you do?
Well, I do this every time we go to Del Taco. I'm like, I got this. I got this.
We're fine.
I don't want to do math, so just take all of it and give whatever's left back.
Yeah, just take advantage of that.
Why Haley
Noodles
wants to go to
bees.
Del Taco?
So we're driving
Sorry,
back to
but
Brennan's
continue.
house to get him home, so I can get my brother home.
Well, Brennan needed Benadryl, didn't he?
Right, Brennan needed Benadryl.
Oh yeah.
So skipping
Brennan's
over
allergic- because Brennan's allergic to cats.
cats.
And Hannah has 2 cats. And
Yes,
I
that's
was
right.
getting
You
all-
were dying.
Yes. My
Slowly,
throat was closing
but
up
truly.
slowly.
Yeah.
Which is a painful
Dun, dun,
and like
dun,
3-hour process to die from.
Yeah. So we detour and go to a 7-Eleven. On the way to 7-Eleven, John's throwing up outside of the car, so I'm slowing down. Thankfully, it wasn't my car. I wouldn't.
It was mine.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna throw up on a car,
It might as well
Might
be
as
your
well
own.
be
and
your own.
luckily you weren't in the
It's
driver's
a good
seat.
rule of thumb.
So we pull into the 7-Eleven, and I don't think you threw up at the 7-Eleven.
No,
you
I
were
didn't.
just.
And
cuddling
I
the
didn't
car door.
actually get Benadryl.
He goes into the 7-Eleven. I can see him. I can see everything that's happening. The full front of the store is made of glass.
I went in there intending to get Benadryl. However, once I went past those revolving or opening doors, my brain went blank and said cigarettes. Because that's why
So
I
you
go
got
to
cigarettes
7-Eleven.
and you didn't get the thing that would save your life?
Pretty much.
Well, he's here 4 days later. 5 days later.
I made it.
5 days.
5.
The beers I had when I got home and then started claiming you might be from working for Hydra.
Oh, we're not there yet.
Clear my
We're
system.
not there yet.
I haven't asked. What were you talking to the poor person in there about?
Oh, I don't even know.
Because you were like talking to her for a good 10 minutes.
Okay, so
Or
it
no,
was the
2
woman.
minutes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
thought I dreamt her. Well, no, because every time I have gone in there, and probably what we were talking about is I was checking in with her. Because the last 3 times I had gone in there and she had been working, she ended up crying on my shoulder for a good 15 minutes. And I walked there because I'm like high and drunk at the time and I want to be safe. And she's just crying on me, and I'm like, I don't know what to do because I get uncomfortable when people cry because I'm Irish. So what
I'm right
we do
there
is
with
we
you.
get
I'm
really,
right there
really
with
drunk to the point where we pass out in the toilet and we cry while we're puking. That way people think we're just crying because we're puking.
That got weird.
If you say so.
So continuing.
So Brennan got back in the car.
When I get back, and I'm like, where'd you get Benadryl? And
Drop
he's like,
Brennan.
I forgot, blah. So, you drop
I couldn't
Brennan
go
off.
back in because that would seem weird.
Yeah. You drop Brennan off, and we get to my house. John's getting out
Our
of the car.
house. Do 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 do.
Our house! So we get back to our house.
The 2 straight ones, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I get out of the car.
Half and half.
John tries to get out of the car. He can't walk in a straight line. He's like...
Yeah.
His brain is half functioning. He
It's
can't
not
do
even
shit.
Halloween yet.
Like, he can't do anything.
This is pre-game Halloween.
Oh yeah.
He's walking like he's got an L bracket up his ass.
Oh dear.
I hunched
It was
over,
uncomfortable.
can't do shit, and he's like, Tony, I'm gonna need your help getting up the stairs. And I'm
You
like,
sound like Big Hero 6.
hey, baby. And I'm like, okay, John, I'll help you. I'm helping him get to the door. I know something's up when we get to the gate. So we have to get to the gate and go to the back and go to the kitchen door, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
he picks up his pace a little bit too much.
Oh.
But I'm just like, wait,
Drunk
where
momentum
did
is
you get
bad.
this power from? You're walking in a straight line. Where did this come from?
The
It's a
alcohol
moment of
just
clarity.
pushes the liver forward.
What superpower do you have?
So I'm like, fuck, what is he trying to do? So I start running after him. He runs in the house. This is at 1 o'clock in the morning, and we try not to wake our parents. He runs in the house. Completely straight. Completely fucking straight. I have to take care of the door because he threw it open. Runs into the house.
A moment of clarity followed
Throws
by...
his shoes against the door. They fall into the little nice, neat shoe pile. Nice and neatly, my dad.
Superpower.
Yes.
And he sprints up the stairs like a goddamn monkey on crack.
And you're left there.
And I'm like,
Wow. What the fuck? Easier done than said. In that case.
slightly slams his bedroom door.
Slightly.
Doesn't even wake up the fucking dog.
Wow.
And
When we
can
try to be quiet, one little creak wakes up the fucking dog.
Yeah.
A drunk ass person running through the house doesn't
Dog's
do
like,
shit.
That's probably a psychopath here to kill us all. I'm not gonna.
I expected like a very climactic ending to that story. Like he sprints up the stairs and then explodes into vomit.
I did make it to the bathroom and I threw up.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
After I
That's
tried
why he was running.
After, well, I possibly after
I
that
get into the room and he's just on the floor with like the comforter over him, just like, I'm so comfy.
Yeah, but I need to throw up. Blah. I remember pulling the comforter off my bed, like those people pull the tablecloth off the table without moving the dishes.
Yeah.
And that's just.
Wow.
But it didn't work, and all my pillows came with it.
So he kind of did explode.
Oh.
I went home, hopped in the hot tub, and had a couple beers. It was lovely.
No. And then my brother and I both get texts from Brennan. If John's a Hydra, I'm gonna kill him. It doesn't matter how much, but we're friends. I'm going to kill him.
I had to declare my allegiance for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I got
Colson
this.
might have been
I'm-
monitoring my phone.
He's
so
pulling
I
up the
wanted to-
evidence.
Yeah, no, it's on mine too.
To show Edward, the only sober one of the group.
10:30, 2014, Thursday,
Captain's log.
Yeah.
1:17 a.m. You know, if your brother is Hydra, I have to take him down. I say, made it home.
Which is what I tell
Yeah,
them every
Brennan
time
always
they
wants
leave.
to know if we make it home.
I do, because I theorize otherwise you died in a horrible crash.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you left sober or not. I just assume you
Yeah,
die
yeah.
if I don't hear from you.
It's a valid fear.
His next text is, good. Then his next text is, but really, if your brother shows signs of Hydra, if you don't tell me, it could be bad. The next text is an uppercase D. My next text is Hydra?
Bad Hydra.
Brennan goes, nefarious actions in general. I go, I see.
So sneaky momness is Hydra.
He goes, this line is no longer secure.
That was when I realized I'm really drunk and I need to go to bed.
And he says, but do you really? And then it was over.
Okay. Cool.
John got his own set of texts.
I feel like we have to do the other.
That 13-minute, 40-second story.
Oh yeah, we should probably move on to
Beautiful.
our Halloween adventure.
Oh god. Shoot me in the neck. Pew, 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 pew. Okay, I would...
That was my
For those of you who are listening and cannot watch because you aren't a ghost and you can't spectate this,
I'm not a spectator.
my face during that whole thing was just of
Oh, it was awesome.
disappointment.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Which is worse.
I just
Was it
had-
as bad as Dragon Ball Z live action? I take it I'm the only one who ever
No.
watched
Yeah,
it.
I
Yeah,
haven't
I know,
watched
but-
that. I'm
I'm just
assuming it's on the
appalled right
same
now.
level of Avatar: The Last Airbender, like,
Ooh.
or is that worse?
Oh, that hurts right in the feels.
That hurts
See,
right in the feels.
And I had that. Well, should we say what we're talking about?
Avatar: The Last Airbender was a live-action film.
Well, no, wait. The movie you're you're talking about.
Oh,
Well, he was talking about his face during the story, I think.
yeah,
Or
that's
during-
what I was
yeah.
talking about.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant your guys' movie. That
No, we're not there
went to
yet.
see.
Oh no, that was
I'm
not
sorry.
what we went to go see. I am never watching that movie ever again.
Really?
No, not Birdman.
Oh, okay.
No,
was like,
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, no,
Blech.
that's a whole... Oh, no,
Blech.
they might be making a second one.
I know. That's what I heard, and if that happens,
Yeah.
I'm personally visiting M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong, and I'm shooting him in his Shyamalama Ding Dong.
Tony looked like you killed his dog for a second.
Wicket?
Yeah.
Who keeps trying to get me to be friends with
Okay.
him on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, so here's
Continue.
Edward's Halloween adventure. So, just to summarize in a few words, I drove to and from Fort Collins, Colorado, which is an hour and a half drive, like quarter to a third tank of gas, if not more, twice. I drove to and from Fort Collins twice.
Why?
Shoot me in the neck. Okay, so
Painful.
there was a Halloween get together. It was not a party. It was like
There's
sober
some
fun.
movies.
Let's play Betrayal at House on the Hill. Like fun being in costumeness. So I dressed up as my Splicer costume. I brought my Vigors, which hopefully you all saw because
Those were
fucking
badass.
awesome.
Those were badass.
And I went up to Fort Collins. I made the drive, and it was a fine drive, you know. So I get up there, and we play the games, and we have fun, and do costume things, and eat pizza, and everything is grand. Everyone leaves at around 7:30. I'm staying there. I stayed there till about 8:30 because my friend Kate and I are discussing just like video games. We play Five Nights at Freddy's, and we. I know, yeah. I died only on night 2. I got through night 4 like super easy, but then I died on night 2. Whatever. They're making a second one, by the way.
Of course they are.
Yeah. So yeah, it's 8:30, and we're like, hey, there's a party down in Boulder, and we have friends that are in Boulder because we had friends that were going to come to the party, but they couldn't because they were going to the party down in Boulder. So we're like, why not just go down to Boulder? So it was another hour and a half drive down to Boulder. Realized about an hour of the drive there that we probably should have taken separate cars because she lives in Fort Collins and then I have to take her back. But I assumed that I was going to spend the night in Fort Collins, so that was going to be fine. Go to Boulder, and these people, it's Corey's house, and Corey's wonderful.
Friend of the show, Corey.
Friend of the show, Corey.
Okay.
Yes, it's Corey's house, and all of he doesn't drink as much as his friends do, but his friends drink a lot. Like every day, they are drunk.
Oh,
If
I'm
they're-
not that bad.
If they're drunk, if
I
they're
take
not
like
drunk,
2 days off a week.
they're hungover until they
I don't get
get
hangovers.
drunk again. It's just like over and over and over, and it's just non-stop drunkenness.
No,
So,
see, I drink plenty of water.
so and then this party, so that's what this house is. That's what their parties usually are. But now imagine that it's Halloween, and everyone in Boulder finds out that there's a second party after Halloween. This is on November 1st. That after Halloween there is another party with free booze. And so everyone in Boulder showed up to this tiny fucking house in the middle of Boulder by CU. And everyone is drunk off their ass, and everyone's in costume, too. So they think that it's cool to be even super weird. And then, like, my friends are... I see my friends, and they're just, like, on the floor. They're puking in the bedrooms. It gets really bad. We're there till 1 a.m. And at this point, people are getting really fucked up, and they're like, I'm afraid something bad is going to happen, and I don't want to be here when it does. So I'm like, this is getting too Mean Girls party-like. We need to book it, like meow. So we book it right meow. We get in my car and leave.
Meow.
Get back to Fort Collins, and I'm like so tired, and I just want to sleep. And then I realize, oh god, I have work in the morning. And I have to drive, if I go back in the morning, I have to drive through the morning traffic on I-25. And I'm not willing to do that. So I drive half asleep the extra hour and a half drive back to Littleton, Colorado. And I almost killed all the people on I-25, if not myself.
Wow.
And it was really bad. So the moral of Edward's story is, don't go to Boulder on fucking Halloween. Oh my god.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's a good one.
I'm really
that's a
fed
good
up. At this point,
Did
I'm
you
really
see the
fed up.
Naked Pumpkin Run?
No, I did not.
That's
Why
awesome.
didn't I?
I don't know. It's in Boulder.
That sounds awesome.
They do it on Halloween.
Cool.
I got
Edward and I
arrested
had
for
our
being
own
part of the
adventure on
Naked Bike
Halloween.
Ride.
Oh, yeah. I've seen those the naked bike rides. Those are fun.
Don't veer off the path, especially on rollerblades.
Because it's a bike ride?
No, apparently you have a protesting path that you're allowed to be naked on.
Oh,
If you
okay.
veer off, then you can get arrested.
Okay.
But anyways, I'm just really done with drunk people because
So
He
you
says,
go
I don't
by,
like-
he says
I
the
don't
two
like
people
to drink.
drinking.
and you come to
I
my
appreciate.
house.
I know. But I appreciate intelligence and like being able to walk in a straight line and
See,
being
and
able to
I'm
think
at least
coherent
relatively
thoughts.
coherent when I drink.
Right, but I just like I don't like
Oh,
the
like
idea
that.
that you should just be a dull person. That's why I don't like to drink. And plus, my dad is a recovering alcoholic. He was sober for like 14 years, and then he relapsed, and it was bad. It was really bad. And now he's been sober for like the last 3 or 4, so that's good. But I just feel like I have to be kind of a role model now, because if I'm underage and I've been presented with all of these opportunities to drink, and I come home drunk, where's his excuse to now not be drunk? If his kid who's underage can now drink, why can't he? So I feel like I have to be kind of a role model for that too.
I say that's fair and
Admirable.
Thank you. However, I also say you're 18.
19.
19.
You're 19.
We were there for his birthday.
That's right.
There was
I
a
baked
We
it
recorded
everything.
on my birthday,
You bought him a 7-Eleven cookie.
which was a delicious cookie. Thank you.
That's good. Although I forgot you had left the rest of it over there.
Oh god.
I didn't notice it for a day because I don't go over there until night, and I'm like, oh.
Blech.
So
Yeah.
it melted kind of weird for ice cream. So I'm glad
'Cause
you
it was
liked it.
7-Eleven.
Right. I'm glad to see you're still here.
Yeah. Oh.
But-
Thank
Thanks.
heaven. 7-Eleven.
I feel like there's one point where you shouldn't have to be the role model. You're not you're not the more adult in this scenario, and I do respect it. I do, and you will never feel peer pressured here. If you don't want to drink, if you don't want to smoke pot, no one's gonna say, "Oh, you're not cool for that kind of thing."
Oh, you're not cool.
I'm not. I'm the most boring person I know.
We're a group of nerds. We're all not cool.
Literally, we're
That's why you won't be pressured to not feeling cool, because that would
none
be
of us
bad.
are cool.
It's
Oh,
on
that's
Then
really
you'd be an
outcast.
outcast.
You shouldn't. You should not be assured to like be cool because none of us are cool. That's our motivation.
but
Yeah.
I mean, and I get it, and I do, and I think that's really cool. And I also appreciate that you don't try to hold others to that standard as well. Like, by no means have you ever made us feel guilty for drinking.
Right. Right.
But I didn't know your reasons behind it before, and I respect your reasons now that I know.
Yes,
Cool.
I didn't know either. I just noticed you didn't really care for drinking, and you were just drinking regular Dr. Pepper, and I didn't care past that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't drink till I was almost 22, so I was just like, maybe he was just like me. I don't know.
Me. Plus, I haven't liked any alcohol that I've tried, except for that one wine that Hannah gave me. That's because it was a super gay, sugary rock. I
Yeah,
was like, yum.
her wine taste is
It's wine. I don't like it all.
but it's not good wine. Cupcake.
Anyway, so yeah,
no.
that was my eventful week. That was my
Well,
eventful week in Fort Collins.
What I was actually trying to get you to bring up, but I'm glad I hear that story now. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Birdman.
Birdman. Holy fuck.
John and Edward's Halloween adventure on Halloween.
So, John and Edward went, hung out on the Friday, hung out on the Monday, and then we hung out on the Wednesday, and then we hung out on the Friday. and
Wow,
on
we
Monday
did, didn't we?
again. Yeah, we did.
Oh.
We're besties.
good that you guys
We're
took
like
days
besties
off.
now. Oh my god.
I feel like we bonded.
You know, we went to like the Mirage bar, and there's a big arcade underneath it, and so we explored some of their pinball machines, and we played a pinball machine called
Fireball.
And it was 25 cents, and all we brought was 25 cents.
Nice.
So we're like, ooh, pinball! We played that for like 2 seconds until we lost. And then we went to Alamo Drafthouse, the coolest movie theater. It's a dinner and a movie. If you live in Colorado, you should totally go to Alamo Drafthouse. It's the best thing ever. And because they have like themed trailers, and they always do all kinds of events. Like they have quote-alongs. They're gonna have a Serenity
Yes,
Long.
which I judged you so much because you haven't watched.
Because I haven't watched it. That was the other thing I need to watch.
Do you want to borrow my DVD set?
I
of
might have
Serenity
to.
And
It's also on
the
Netflix.
movie of Serenity and the DVD set of Firefly.
I might need to do that. Yeah, that
Okay.
would be wise.
You should do that because the
since you
outtakes
come
of
to
it
my
are
house
awesome.
once a week,
And then we can
I'm
all
sure
talk
I'll
about
see
it after I watch it.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I've seen it. I
Yeah.
remember
But then we went to Animu Drift House, and we watched a movie that I have been waiting for so long. It's been like a year of waiting for this Michael Keaton movie.
Before we get into the actual movie, can we talk about briefly what happened before the movie?
What?
Well, because
happened
there's
in
like
the movie?
themed. They talk about the themed trailers,
Right.
So it's a whole bunch of random bird stuff.
Yeah, everything is themed. Like when we saw the Maze Runner, it was all these like maze things and like a whole bunch of kids getting trapped in mazes on game shows and like mice going through mazes and stuff. That was like all of the trailers before the movie, and I thought it was really cool. The bird ones, however,
The bird ones were interesting because you had like this guy with a giant like kite wing setup who was Condor Man.
Condor Man.
He was like flying across a bridge in Britain, and the one that kind of blew my mind was, what was her name, like Lucy or
I
like
don't fucking know.
There was this
She was a French girl.
It was a little French girl in a bird costume. It was like Jacqueline the bird girl, and she would just start like chirping like a bird, and she's like, "This
I'm gonna
girl
see if I can find it.
has a great bird ability." And
Yes.
chirp, 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 chirp.
Like, whatever.
And this-
Is it the same mentality as like Squirrel Girl, just 100% less?
yes,
And
So, how many mushrooms did you ingest prior to
none.
0 mushrooms.
That probably would have made it better, but we're just sitting there, and I'm like, Edward, what the hell are we watching right now? And she just sits there for like a minute and a half. She's chirping in the middle of this forest in black and white, and I'm like, what is going on? Chirp.
What if I do vintage bird girl?
Edward
I
is.
feel like that'll come up with some really
I feel
naughty
like for this
things.
episode, you're gonna have a lot of cutting to do.
Yeah, it's fine. So I can't find it, but it was very strange.
It was very interesting, and it was just really random.
And then there was, of course, a whole bunch of Michael Keaton movies, movie clips, and like of him just
and a random kid in a Batman outfit, and it was just crazy.
And then it moved on to Birdman, the silliest, most awesome film ever. It stars Michael Keaton and Emma Stone.
Yeah, it does.
Emma Stone. Yes, I would go straight for her in a millisecond.
I concur.
Yeah. And Zach Galifianakis, who is in a dramatic role, and it was awesome.
And it took like 25 minutes to realize that was Zach
That was Zach
Galifianakis.
Galifianakis, like, doing a good job, and he wasn't on Between Two Ferns. Like,
And he wasn't Zach Galifianakis.
yeah! And then Edward Norton was also in it. And
Yes.
I love Edward Norton. It was like, no, this is just the sequel to Fight Club. Because he, like, had a black guy at one point in the movie, and I was like, oh yeah, he gave himself that black guy. That was him.
And
But
we're down back
Birdman,
drinking again. God damn it.
Birdman is essentially an actor who used to be a superhero in a superhero movie called Birdman, which was funny because Michael Keaton was a superhero actor that was once in Batman.
Yes.
He was Batman, and then he didn't do anything for a while up until now, and same with this actor. So Michael Keaton in the movie, he feels like he doesn't matter anymore because he's not in the spotlight, and George Clooney's in the spotlight, and Brad Pitt's in the spotlight, and he's like, I used to be Birdman, I used to be this super cool thing. So he makes...
It's funny you mentioned another Batman.
Oh, did I say
George
Batman?
Clooney?
George Clooney.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
And they
And,
actually mention Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, and the Avengers in the movie. And
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's like, fuck Robert Downey Jr. And,
I would.
I absolutely.
Oh,
cheers
have fun,
to
you two.
that.
Which, and it's funny because he has a son who's like 19. I'm like, no, give me your daddy.
Oh, moving past that. Continue with your
No,
story, Edward.
moving through that. I mean, have you seen... Okay, did you know that Emma Watson has a brother? Mm-hmm. Oh, Alex Watson.
Yes.
He's the Emma Watson of boys.
He's very pretty.
And you two
He's
have
a
fun with it.
model. Oh, I just had to have a moment.
If I get him, I'll get you Emma's number.
Yeah.
That's
So,
fair.
That's
we
fair.
man that
Okay.
up, all right?
Okay,
Get
and
on
if
it.
I get her, I'll get you his number.
It's just...
Oh, you asshole.
Any hoozlebees.
There's a reason I was the slut for
So,
4 episodes.
So this actor makes a Broadway play, and he adapts this shitty 1960s book into a play. and tries to put it on Broadway. And when you start the movie, you're in previews for this film, and everything is going really wrong, and nothing's really working with this play. Like, there's a point where Edward Norton gets a giant boner on stage, and he tries to rape Naomi Watts.
Well,
And you're
who
like-
hasn't had that happen?
Oh,
I haven't had that happen.
I have not had that happen. Poor Naomi Watts.
See my Tuesdays.
And then
I have.
So yeah, things are going wrong, and his inner monologue, his Birdman, keeps trying to tell him, you should give all of this up and be Birdman. You should be the superhero that you were meant to be. And, like, when that inner monologue is going, he, like, uses his telekinesis and, like, throws shit around the room and gets angry, and he, like, flies and shit, he's floating everywhere. And then you figure out, after he's been flying and floating, that he's really just been in a cab the whole time. That was his flying. And so you're like, is he really, like, this superhero? And you're like, oh my gosh,
So
he's
it's
actually
kind
a
of
superhero.
like
And then,
superhero movie meets Walter Mitty.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then, yeah, so you're like, oh no, he really isn't. He's just, like, trying to think of himself as this really important thing because he doesn't think of himself as important, and this is his way of coping for it, or something like that. And,
I scratched my original analogy. So this is like Brennan when he's having deep thoughts out back.
Yes. If
And-
you were like using your telekinesis to throw flower pots into the fence.
And
Yeah.
then it got really weird.
Then it got really weird. So you know, I was talking about this with Edward on the way back. When you're in English class and you're discussing a book, and the teacher's like, "Why are the curtains blue? Is it because it was like a sad, depressing scene, or was it this that the author tried to this and the author was
they
like?"
try to turn it into like this
What the hell?
symbolic thing.
Hothead teachers did you have?
And they try to turn it into
And
something.
really, it's just like the curtains were fucking blue.
The curtains were blue. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The curtains were just blue. He just said blue because
just said
why
blue.
not?
So like when the South Park Boys wrote a book.
Yes.
Right.
Sure.
Scooty McBoogerball.
Yes!
That's my favorite episode.
Blamed it on Butters.
I love that
And-
episode.
I feel like that's how part of this movie went. Because
Yeah.
you're watching it and you're like, why is Spider-Man fighting Bumblebee in the middle of a marching band? What the fuck?
Why are there jellyfish everywhere?
Yeah, and you're like, and it's like,
Post.
is the person writing this movie trying to do metaphors, or were they just having a stroke?
So you're saying I should watch this when I get some mushrooms?
Yes.
Okay.
Because...
It's always good to have that list. Movies
And
to
you-
watch on hallucinogens.
And you're just like, why is there a lamppost? Why are we staring at a lamppost?
And
Freud would say that means something about your father.
Not...
but then it gets. Should we reveal the ending?
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Okay. So at the end of the
Get
film,
it away from me.
Okay.
on opening night of this Broadway play, it's the most fantastic performance that all of them have ever done, and everyone in the audience is loving
the
it.
applause
And whatever.
Howling.
And then at the final scene,
Well...
Michael Keaton gets his gets his robe stuck in an alleyway, and so he has to run on stage in just his briefs.
Okay.
That's not the end.
No, that's not the end?
No.
Oh, right, it's not the end. Because he comes out on stage to do because at the end of the play, he kills himself, and he has a wig that like has an exploding blood pouch thing.
Nice.
And it's like a big finale ending. And he instead of getting the fake gun, he gets a real gun and he shoots himself in the head. And then
Well, you think he
you
shoots
think he
himself.
does. And then he wakes up in the hospital and you figure out he only shot himself in the nose.
He blew his
So-
nose off.
He blew his nose off.
Fight Club 2.
So Fight Club 2. And you're like, what?
Well, like Edward and I are freaking out when he's like, he's got the gun. Oh shit, this is gonna go down. Oh my god.
Oh,
and,
I did it.
then he does it. And everyone in the audience just stands
And
up
it's like,
and there's
oh my
like a
God,
standing
what's
ovation
going on?
and they're
It's
clapping
standing
and we're like,
ovation.
he is dead on the stage, bleeding out, brains everywhere. Why the fuck are they
Yes.
clapping? And then it like fades to black and it comes back and they're in the hospital and we're like, what the fuck?
And so he lives, and he shot his nose off.
He only shot his
And he has a mask over his face that,
That looks like a bird,
Birdman. That
naturally.
looks like Birdman's mask. And he says, like, when everyone leaves the room, and he says, like, happy things to Emma Stone, his daughter, or whatever. He says goodbye to Birdman, and looks at some birds flying out of the window. And he's like, "Oh, isn't that pretty?" And he opens the window and like looks at them. And then Emma Stone
shits
comes
on his face.
When Emma Stone comes back into the room, he's not in the room. And you're like, "Oh God, he jumped out the window." And so she looks down and she can't out of the window and she can't find him on the ground. And she looks up and she smiles.
There's
And
just
that's
like
the end
this
of the
like
movie.
tinge of the smile, and then it's just done.
So thus, he shot himself with a radioactive bullet, and because of his psychosis, he was capable of actually developing superpowers and became actual Birdman. And this is just the prequel and the origin story of the actual Birdman. Boom! Did I just...
The fuck?
That's how the movie ended for
how
Edward
the movie
Knight.
ended.
We sat there and we were just kind of like in stunned silence. Like the credits are going and we kind of looked at each other, looked back at the movie, looked back at each other, and we're like, "What the fuck did we
Yes.
just watch?"
Acting in this movie was phenomenal.
Oh, it's brilliant.
If it doesn't win Academy Awards, I'm going to be pissed. But, like, oh my God. The story was like... What?
Well, my
And-
crackpot theory for the ending is that he actually just jumps out the window and dies, and Emma Stone just kind of looks out and then just goes crazy and just like,
So, since it's his daughter, apparently, not being a sociopath, schizophrenia is genetic. So clearly, they're both schizophrenic and they have wild hallucinations. And to cope with the death of seeing her father's dead mangled corpse on the floor,
She becomes Birdwoman.
She developed the psychosis that her father has legitimately become Birdman, and thus every time she watches the videos, they will think that she will think it is actually
That would
happening.
make a lot of sense, because Emma Stone's character is very
Psychotic as well.
psychotic.
very out there.
And she's very hyper and...
And
Taking into
she's on
consideration,
drugs.
schizophrenia does not make a person psychotic. They take psychotics to manage their schizophrenia. However, it is a mental disease that it can be managed, and there is a large number of people who are schizophrenic that never actually commit any crimes. Something that always pisses me off when the media, or
Fucking
even
hate the media.
movies or TV shows, highlight, "Oh, well, this person was schizophrenic, and that's why they killed him." No, their hallucinations may have led to their motivations, but their motivations originated prior to the hallucinations.
Right. Right.
Some people are just sick regardless of any other mental disorder they might have.
So that was...
Humanity as a whole is sick.
So that was Birdman. And it was one of my favorite films. I absolutely enjoyed every minute of it. I expected something very weird. And my friend had seen it at the Telluride Film Festival, where she sat 4 seats down from Reese Witherspoon. And I was so jealous. I really wanted to see it there, but I couldn't. And she was like, "I could see that you could possibly have written this film." Because it was very my style of kind of indie, but it has like a really great storyline and theme to it, and I really liked it.
It was very good. It was definitely.
I went and saw Horns recently, and that was good.
What was Horns?
With Daniel Radcliffe.
Okay, I've never heard of it.
Still got
No?
nothing.
Okay, so essentially, this kid is madly in love with his girlfriend, and it's a small town.
Would you say he's horny?
He's they make that joke in there too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good.
The start of the film, they're
Tony's
laying,
done.
My
they're
brother looks
laying on a
disappointed at me.
blanket, and they're like kind of like they're doing the Spider-Man kiss, laying down type of thing. And she kisses him, and she's like, "Are you horny?" And that's the start of the movie.
Oh.
It's like horns, yes.
LOL.
And I love a good sex pun. You know me. It makes
Yep.
me. Never mind. But anywho, so essentially, this entire the girlfriend dies. She's brutally murdered.
Sad.
The entire town thinks that the boyfriend did it, Daniel Radcliffe.
Poor Dan.
And eventually, and I'm not going to give away anything that the trailer doesn't give away, eventually he develops horns. And only the people, and okay, this is kind of, only some people can see the horns. But when they see the horns, they start confessing all their dirty, perverse thoughts, who they want to kill, who they want to, like, so he uses it to, like, become a detective.
Interesting.
But he's also, like, mimicking the devil. And he's got, like, a pet snake wrapped around his neck, and he's got a pitchfork. So it's without giving away too many details, like that's most of what the
How did you
trailer
watch
says.
this? Was it in the theater or?
Yeah, it's at AMC Highlands Ranch.
Oh,
Why have I not heard anything about this movie?
I haven't heard
at
anything.
all?
About
See,
this
I
movie.
had seen multiple trailers.
Really?
Oh, but I think I watched them all on the internet, and when I checked for it, because I knew it was in theaters, because it's on demand for like $6.99, but I paid $5 for a ticket because I went at noon, because I'm secretly 70 years old. No, I just have a
Get
job.
Country
that-
Buffet?
No, I don't.
I love Country Buffet.
But I did
love
used to eat
Country
at
Buffet.
Village Inn a lot.
we should go to Country Buffet next week.
I used to eat at Village Inn when there was still smoking allowed.
Oh, so like 1984.
1984, we weren't even alive then, John.
That's the
I
joke,
missed-
Brennan.
I missed Black Eyed Pea when it was like good. I went to a Black Eyed Pea recently and it was fucking awful. Like the chicken that I had was like papery chicken. Just think about that.
It's very Casa Bonita.
I mean, I used to
Sure.
work at Village Inn too, so papery chicken doesn't sound
Yeah.
that bad compared
Any
to some
hoozle
of the
bees,
shit
what
I
are we
serve.
what are we talking about next? What's up?
We want to talk about? Well, wait. I kind of wanted to touch on.
Naughty themes in cartoons?
We
That
could do
be a
that.
good segue into Dalmatians 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go for it.
Naughty things in cartoons.
Naughty
and
things.
kids shows and movies in general.
Okay, kids shows. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Already mentioned it today. That is a...
Are we talking
I was
about
like,
the cartoon?
Tony, you
though?
constipated? What's going on?
angry or
The
just
cartoon's
horny?
good.
The cartoon. Oh yeah, the cartoon's fan.
No, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And
okay.
there's a lot
No.
of sex jokes in there.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Like what?
Touch my arrow. I don't know.
I don't know. Weird. I
Well, it's usually like it's a reference that the kids don't really get. It's... I really want to think so.
I can kind of. I think I might have caught on that, but I because I watched it within the last like 3 or so years.
Hey, Aang, Katara has her staff.
Okay.
That's it?
That's all
That-
I can think of.
Out
off
of the
top my head.
entire
That's the
thing.
entire. Whatever. Okay. So great, but yeah, that was.
There was a reason I had brought that up in the group me.
Well, Toy Story
I don't
does it a
remember.
lot.
Toy Story does it a lot.
SpongeBob does it almost constantly.
Oh, no, weren't we talking about Cars?
Cars.
Cars in its dark, dark past.
Yes.
Oh yes. Okay. So
Pixar in general does a lot of
Yes.
sneak things in there, and I think the writers and everything do this intentionally because
Yeah.
they know all these adults are being dragged to these kids' movies.
You have to entertain the
Some
parents.
are dragging their children. However, a majority are getting dragged by their children, so they put these little
strong
fits-
kids.
things in.
what? Okay.
So they put these
I'll
little
go with
things
it,
in
yeah.
to
I have
at
this
least
weird
give the
fucking
parents,
image.
a little laugh here and there when they're stuck watching them.
Okay, so it was after we recorded our last episode, the same night, and I went home and I showered, and in the shower, tired Edward was thinking some thoughts.
Tired.
And I was like, I thought about the movie Cars. And I was like, all of the Disney Pixar movies are related somehow. What about Cars? And then I thought about cars and their tires, okay? So let's think about it for a second. Everything in the Cars universe is fully operated by a car because all of the people are cars. Mm-hmm. So, like, there's a part in Cars 1 which I have not seen Cars 2, so I can't back that up with Cars 2 things, but I heard it wasn't very significant of a movie. Anyways, so, like, everything is able to be operated by a car. There's a part in the first movie where the main guy, like, the old car, like, uses his tire to, like, push a button on the floor and that raises
the tires are their hands.
tires are their hands.
Right.
Right. And everything, and the gas pumps are operated by their tires, because they can just, like, push buttons and stuff, and everything's operated by tires. But their tires, now, need to be replaced. That's the weird thing about cars, is that cars, when they drive more, their tires, like, get low or whatever, they lose
tread
rubber.
gets
the tread
worn
gets
out.
worn out, thank you. and
the Butch
then
gay
to
one,
replace
or the
tires.
Butch one, I should
And
say.
it is a business in the Cars universe, like Luigi in
Do you know how to
Radiator
change your spark
Springs
plugs?
has
No.
a tire
that's
shop and sells these tires. Okay.
It's like prosthetic hands.
Who made the first tire?
Humans.
We've already had this discussion.
Humans. It had to have been, right? Because
See, I always
Ti-
heard the theory of Cars was like the humans had left the planet because of Wall-E and all the pollution and everything. And the Cars theory is just like basically just all the radiation seeped out and Skynet took over and like they just
right, that's
there
what
were
I'm
no
thinking.
humans around, so they just kind of
Cars
did their own thing.
had to have taken place thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years in the future after humans all died. Because someone had to have made a car, which then could reproduce and make more cars, and then make a universe full of cars.
Little car babies.
Now,
And
why aren't
airplanes.
there people? Where did the people go?
They're
Did
in
they all-
space 'cause of
did they all
Wall-E.
die- Did they all go into space because of Wall-E? Or because... But they came back. They came back after Wall-E.
Yeah, but
And they
the world
rehabbed
was
the
too
Earth.
torn apart for cars to drive around, so they just broke down.
But the theory was that, like, once they came back, they could repopulate. They repopulated the Earth.
And they cleaned the trash up.
They cleaned the trash up because they realized they learned from their mistakes.
And then they evolved into Monsters Inc.
So what I'm saying is that the people created the cars gained life and reproductive
It's Skynet.
organs, and then
Venus.
there was a battle between car and man,
Skynet!
and car won.
Skynet!
Car's gonna win every time.
Cars 3 has to be like the revolution of like District 12.
When they send the Terminator back
Which-
to fuck
the
Sarah
District
Connor.
13 of people versus the cars. And it's cars in its dark, dark past. That was my theory that I thought of in the shower.
The best image ever when you're like, it was a battle between
Car and
man.
man. And
Cars-
car won.
Stephen King wrote about this many years ago with
Did he?
Christine.
Christine, the evil haunted car.
Did we just show our age?
Wait.
What?
Fuck.
Are you serious?
Really? Both of you?
Neither of you? Stephen King, come on. One of
No.
I know who it is.
classic, original,
I know who
scary
it is.
man. Like,
Why? Tell me, Christine the
Stephen
car.
King was a is still alive.
Yes, yes.
Beautiful horror story
Yes.
writer.
Yes.
And one of the horror stories that he wrote was Christine. And it was about this hot rod car that had become essentially possessed and would kill people. And it was, and I have seen The Simpsons make reference to this. I have seen Family Guy make reference to this. I'm pretty
I
certain
haven't
American
gotten
Dad.
any of those references because I didn't know.
Anytime there's a haunted car that's killing people, that's a
That's
reference
Christine.
to Stephen King's
I'm gonna
Christine.
read Christine.
You should
can watch it.
read Christine, read Towers, read. Oh, there's Under the Dome is a new TV series that
Yeah.
Apparently,
That's a Stephen King novel as
there's
well.
there's possibly a sequel out to The Shining by Stephen.
There is. It's Doctor
There's-
Sleep.
Yeah,
Okay.
Doctor Sleep is out.
Wow.
And
The
he
Mist?
he just released
The
another
Mist
one,
does.
too.
um,
Oh, I saw the movie The Mist. That was really
Fuck that movie.
the
Fuck
movie,
that movie.
yeah, the
Best
movie sucked.
ending ever.
worst ending ever. Oh my god!
Okay, we're not going to say spoilers because you should have seen it by now.
You should have
But
seen by now.
people trapped in this gas station because of the mist. They try to escape the mist. They run out of gas.
They run out of gas, and then there's 5 people in a car and a gun with 4 bullets in it. And the guy, the man,
The father,
the father kills his son,
son, his love interest, and another person.
and two like,
other
an old
people.
woman and another man, and they all die, and he's left there just like in like shock that he killed all these people to try and like take their lives, and then 5 seconds after he does that, the military show up and save everyone.
yeah, he gets out of the
The
car and
fuck?
he's like, "Kill me, strange extra dimensional
If you
beings."
think about
and
it-
then this army shows up.
If the one guy didn't shoot the pseudo religious chick twice, they would have had enough bullets for the whole car.
Or if they just didn't kill everyone, they could have all gotten rescued.
Yes.
That too.
Why couldn't you just have waited it out in the car?
I never actually saw the movie.
No,
I
that's
read
how
the
it ends.
Or if they left with that one chick.
Don't see it. It's like on the same level as The Happening.
That was so fucking weird.
I can proudly say that I've never seen that movie.
It was M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong after Avatar: The Last Airbender being possibly shittier than Avatar: The Last Airbender. Or was it before?
Was that the one where
The plants.
plants were
The
killing
trees are like, fuck off. I'm going
Yeah,
to make
there's like a
like,
pollen in
lawnmower
the,
yourself.
in the atmosphere in
Was
the
that
air
supposed to be a
that's making
horror
people
movie?
commit suicide.
Oh, I thought that was a fairy tale. I thought that was the best. I'm like, finally!
I'm sorry,
No,
but
kill them motherfuckers.
This is making them kill themselves.
the last M. Night Shyamalan movie that was worth anything was The Sixth Sense.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I thought it was predictable.
Or like Signs.
I
While
thought it was
Signs
predictable.
was not like a great.
Stephen
if
King
it
and Dean
wasn't
Koontz
Mel-
so good at the
If it
twist.
wasn't Mel Gibson, Signs might have been better.
I think
Mel
I
Gibson
still
is a crazy
enjoy watching
motherfucker.
that movie though.
I enjoy Mel Gibson in some movies, but he is a crazy ass motherfucker.
That's putting it nicely.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, well,
the Dalmatians 3.
Cartoons.
okay, yeah, Dalmatians 3.
I've told too many stories today.
Well, then let's do.
I didn't
The
get
last
to
week
tell
there was a
about
lot of things that happened space-wise. They happened to be tragic. So I thought we could talk about like space.
What?
There was a rocket that they blew up intentionally on the launch pad like 4 seconds
Wasn't it
after the-
unmanned though?
Yeah, that one was unmanned.
It wasn't.
And then
Did you just say it intentionally?
it was intentionally the Antares rocket or whatever was intentionally
It
exploded.
would have caused
Why?
a
Oh, right.
more dangerous problems.
And
had
then-
it actually launched.
And then the Virgin Galactic test flight blew
That
up,
blew up.
killing 2 people.
That one was.
Oh.
That one was sad. But I thought we could, in honor of space things happening, we could talk about space and our favorite things about
Space!
space.
Well, I fucking hate America. Because if you take
That's
like...
not space.
If you,
That's
no, I'm getting there. If you take
Some of them don't
4
even believe
NFL
it.
teams and their coaches, those 4 teams have more funding
Then
the space
NASA.
than NASA.
Well, there's the whole...
NASA.
Than NASA.
Yeah.
What the goddamn hell is this shit? I hate
Yeah.
this planet so much.
Well, and that's why, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way, why we're all excited about Interstellar.
Oh,
Because
yes.
it talks about how exactly what we are doing. We are going to fuck up this planet
Beyond
to
Earth.
the point we can
Going
no
to,
longer
we've
live-
already fucked up
Right.
this planet.
Where we can no longer live on it, and we will have abandoned the space program many years before because people, quote unquote, aren't interested because they're too greedy, corrupt, little conniving bitches to realize that there is something greater than the planet Earth itself, let alone our subtle, little, first world, bitchy ass problems that we will eventually have to leave and
But
find
think about it,
somewhere
like,
else.
once we heard that Russia was trying to go to the moon, we got to the moon like that.
That's because we're competitors.
Right.
But we have no one who can compete with our technology to go into space, and thus we no longer
It's like we should have been at Mars in the 70s.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
Absolutely.
If you look at aviation and how they were just like, flying is impossible, you're all fucking crazy. And then, like, 50 years
to
later,
walk
they're
my
just like,
back
we're
road.
flying across oceans.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, the technology just skyrocketed. And then it just fucking stopped.
Yeah.
Because fuck!
Because fuck.
The thing is, the greedy, like, people that you're talking about, if they actually started thinking, they would realize there is trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars to be made, even as close as the...
traveling to Mars on vacation.
Well, not even that.
If you
The
mine one
asteroid
asteroid,
belt.
if you mine one, all the debt will be gone.
There would be no debt left.
There'll be no water
compressed
storage
carbon
at all.
in space. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
want an asteroid.
one asteroid.
Actually,
One
NASA
asteroid.
was thinking about capturing an asteroid that was going to pass by Earth and put it in orbit around the moon.
Whoa, that's
How awesome is that?
would
And so
be
we
so
can just
cool.
go up there and do experiments and mine and pull things from it.
I am curious to know if that would affect any tides.
No.
Not significantly
Not
enough.
Not
significantly
significantly.
I mean, yes, it will, but
what is the margin of
barely.
area error?
We're
on
talking like
significant
2 or
enough?
3 inches.
Yeah.
Okay, because like Katrina was a significant tidal event.
No, we're talking like it'll raise and lower maybe 2 or 3 inches, but
Very,
nothing-
very
nothing
small
else.
change.
So just Venice.
Yeah, no, Venice.
It's like if
Fuck Venice.
yeah,
They all know how to swim by now, right?
Yeah.
I hope so.
They
I
need
wouldn't
to
want to
move.
swim in that.
they need to-
Apparently it smells.
I'm a Venetian. I
horrible.
know how to
Yeah.
swim.
They're all sewers.
There's underground is water.
You're like, it's
That's
so
why I
basic,
felt
the shit
so
feels
bad. I know we're trying to get away from video games this time, but I felt so bad in Assassin's Creed 2, jumping in those canals. In Venice, you're like, I'm swimming through shit right now.
The
Flag
splatter
and
and Les
Ebola
Miserables.
are all on me.
It wasn't a white robe when I got out of it.
Said that to your daddy.
What? Jesus. But no, space is just awesome.
Space is
I
fucking
love
awesome.
space.
I like it because
Seriously.
there aren't any humans out there.
Yes.
God, did you see Gravity?
No, but that had almost 3 times the budget of the Indian space program.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is sad since 2 actors were in it.
It cost more to pretend to go to space than to go to space.
Which one thing that bugs
million
me?
compared to 75 million.
Yeah.
Which one thing that bugs me about the movie? They did a pretty good job with their science until she cried because it was just like bloop. Oh, like it's floating away. That's not how it works.
In
Surface
her-
tension.
It blobs on your eyeball like the fucking blob, and it looks really cool.
Steve McQueen.
Have you ever seen? Did you see? Who was the astronaut that just got back from space and he wrote a book and he was super cool because he did like all those YouTube things in space.
Oh, that one guy who did the thing. The thing.
He
I know
sang,
exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
Major
his
Tom.
name. Major Tom.
Major
Yes.
Tom.
He did
Major
Major
Yeah,
Tom.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he did the experiment where he took a towel, like a washcloth, and he
Got
soaked
it
it in
wet
water and then wrung
Right,
it out
yeah.
in 0 gravity, and it was fucking cool. We need more of that shit. Like all the people that watched those YouTube videos and watched him, like, and they got excited about space.
Well, and it's cool because they start realizing the scientific problems with the whole Hollywood and everything that tries to present science of
Right.
space and everything. That's why I always get nervous with like movies like Interstellar. It's like
Well, I'm very nervous, but very excited.
right. There's that middle ground where you're like, I really hope they don't fuck this up. But it's cool that he brings so much light to the science. Like people are getting interested. Like, and I think that's
People
one-
like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
yes.
Badass.
Oh,
Badass.
Cosmos.
Badass.
Oh,
Yes.
love it.
I love Cosmos.
My aunt is a science teacher, and every time we get together, we just talk about Cosmos and talk about pretty much anything Neil posts on any social media. Are you tickling
Are you
boobs or
orgasming?
balls?
No, I just realized something that we need to talk about space.
Okay.
But I didn't want to interrupt you.
What?
They found life on the outside of the International Space Station.
What?
Yes.
What?
There is life in space.
Tardigrades?
Define. Elaborate.
They're
Were they tardigrades?
tardigrades and plankton. They're microscopic
Yeah, they're
things
microscopic life.
living on
But that's still awesome. That's
the
life.
outside of the space station.
That's
in
so
space.
cool.
We have to take a moment. All hair, all our tardigrade masters. Okay, continue.
What Tony's talking about is tardigrades. There's the microscopic
The actual
little
rulers of planet Earth.
creatures that can
They
live
have existed
anywhere.
for apocalypses.
They've gone through every single mass extinction, and they're
Yeah.
like, we're completely fine with this.
If you
Bring
want
on
more
bitches.
information on tardigrades, watch Cosmos.
Seriously,
Yeah.
seriously.
Cosmos is the coolest
Watch
show.
it.
Awesome.
Watch it. But don't bother downloading the app. That was stupid.
Was the app stupid?
Go watch the
Yes.
damn show. Oh
It's
my
like
God.
you can see what constellations are above you, and I'm like, I'm a nerd. I know which ones they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I
So
can
we're-
identify more than Orion and the Big Dipper.
I'm just gonna, we are at 57 minutes. So
Huzzah!
We should wrap it up then.
I'm gonna wrap it up with Dalmatians fucking 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Make it snappy, sir.
I
Brandon
was
does a
talking
good
with
sci-fi
John in the
movie.
movie theater of Birdman about the worst video game in human history, Dalmatians 3. PlayStation 2 game. There is no Dalmatians 1 and 2. It does not exist. 'Tis only the third. This game was created by a company called Phoenix Games, which there is no information about them on the internet at all. They've made games such as White Van Racer.
There's candy on the side of it.
Snow White and the Seven Clever Boys.
Browsers.
I've seen that porno.
and Dalmatians 3. Now, the cover of this game is of a crudely drawn Cruella de Vil with a couple of Dalmatians. There are no Cruella de Vils or Dalmatians in the whole game. They don't... When you open the game, after it takes 3 minutes to load, you can choose between, like, a really shitty puzzle game where, like, it has a picture of a Dalmatian and you have to, like, match all the puzzle pieces. All of the puzzle pieces are the exact same shape, by the way. Yeah. There's a really shitty painting game, and like a couple other shitty mini games. And every single one of these takes like 5 minutes to load. And your PlayStation, when you're playing it, is running at full capacity. The fan is like blowing shit out. It's getting really, really hot. It has broken PlayStation 2s after playing this game. And every disc is rendered unreadable because the PS2 gets too hot.
I want to spend $30 and play this.
I want to play this.
I want to buy the game and then buy the PS3.
I remember a
Maybe
PS2 game called Black, where they actually had really, really, really good looking explosions
Black.
on it. And like, so much shit was going on at the same time, yet... there's something happening in the background of this game.
Oh, and the graphics are like Super NES. Okay, now, here's where we get to Dalmatians 3, where when you click the actual game part, it is a 43-minute cutscene, and that's it.
Which is on YouTube if you want to check it out.
Is it like the line of like really, really stupid things? It's like, this is a game and actually it's just a fucking movie?
It's basically a movie, but the voice acting and animation is genuinely awful. I've never seen something more ridiculous. And in fact, I have it pulled up right now. I'm going to show you guys some clips from Dalmatians 3. I know you guys aren't really going to figure out what these
What is that?
are. Oh, that's one of the dogs.
That's the Irish Terrier.
Now, and these make no sense as of right now, but even in context, they make equal fucking sense. So, we're just going to go for it. Let's...
Dog is
Make
demonic.
sure there's no sound.
Oh, there is sound.
Or Scottish
Well,
Terrier.
let's like lower the sound so it doesn't bother the recording.
Oh, it'll be fine.
Okay, never
It'll be
mind
fine.
then.
Oh, no,
Oh my god! Oh my god! There's 3 seconds of this and I can't take it anymore. And it broke Tony. The dog was the model of the dog was
hold
just shaking.
Let's keep going. Let's keep
Dalmatian
going.
is dead.
We have to make it through.
Oh my god! Look at the Dalmatian. It's like
Yeah.
it's blind.
Okay, ready?
It has dead eyes.
The market, tube fishing,
Oh,
tube
it fixes
fishing.
it.
Oh, I think she's in trouble. I'm sure she went to find Toby and Timmy.
So basically, some dude in his basement with like
A ponytail and jean shorts.
$50 worth of computer equipment decided to create a game, and people were stupid enough to buy it.
I suppose so. Moving on.
Would you believe it? That was pretty fast. Well, I'll butcher to fishing.
Once I decided to
What
get
the fuck?
I was consistent.
It was consistent.
He disappeared weeks ago.
Exactly.
Why did the dog sound like a snake?
Oh, watch this guy walking.
I know. I think I know something.
Leave them alone, Pollock.
Isn't that the dog from Duck Hunter?
I'm sorry.
Isn't it?
Yes.
You're the only one who would get that
Yes.
out of this group, but isn't
got
that the
that.
dog
That's
from
the dog
Duck
from
Hunter?
Duck Hunter.
That little
We just
motherfucker,
watched
I
a dog
hated
have a
that dog.
seizure for some reason.
Good.
And I almost choked on a
I
goldfish.
hated
We're
that
almost
dog
done.
when
We're
I was
almost
like
done.
5.
What's going on here? We'll come up with something.
His mouth doesn't move when he talks.
He's a dog. They don't actually talk.
Yeah, I've just thought of something. They aren't
I'm sorry, but
It's Japanese.
the dog
Sorry.
is Japanese
What
talking.
is wrong with this Dillhall?
He has rabies. And random dog sweeping.
We will post this on our
We
Facebook
have to.
page for you.
I will
for
link
the
it.
listeners to.
It is linked in the description.
That's totally the dog from Duck Hunt.
Yeah, it is.
To the courtyard.
I hated that motherfucker.
It's Balto.
Yes, man. Well, that was close.
No,
Do you
Balto.
want
had
to
a
know
clue.
the ending line to this kid's cartoon? The closing sentence to this epic 45-minute movie? The final words spoken by these
This is
utterly
just the narrator.
beloved characters? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you...
The contents of a liver sausage will always be a mystery.
What in the ever living fuck?
He's
That's
holding a
it.
gun.
Oh, yeah.
Slaughtered.
And then he slaughters. So yeah, this guy is like the worst narrator of anything that I've ever seen.
Well,
Like,
you do know the contents of a liver sausage will always be a mystery.
That's not true. It's liver and
at least
sausage.
you know that the contents of a liver sausage will always be a mystery.
That's my new catchphrase.
Ooh.
I mean, only if you don't know which liver it came from.
My face.
I hope it's not
So
yours.
that was-
because then it's
that
just
was-
like, I'm drunk.
You couldn't bite into
Dalmatians
that.
3.
That'd be like trying to bite at a rock.
Yeah.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you think Dalmatians
And on
3 is
that
a pile
note-
of shit.
I'm closing the recording. Thank you all for listening.
Liver contents of a sausage.
The contents of a liver sausage will always be a mystery.
If you want to ask us any questions, the
Wanna ask us
podcast
any
at gmail.com.
questions? Nerdword
Or
podcast.
the N-word.
Oh yeah,
Edward's
whatever.
broken.
Oh. I love. Okay. Okay.
Hit the button.
Hit the button. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.